Hello friends, today we will learn to make this lantern or a lamp in easy steps. First thing, please convert the artwork in monochrome or black and white. Post that, I'm measuring the top of the lantern to see as to how many portions of that will come. It comes to about 4 portions. So I have taken up an area as to where I will want to draw and divide that into 4 portions. And then see the width of the lantern as to where it will fall and start making the markings so that I remain within those limits that I am drawing for myself. And bit by bit, looking at the picture on the side, I am drawing the outlining of the lantern. What you need to focus at this point in time is the lines should be proportional to each other. The angles of the line should be right, and not worry too much about whether it's looking like a lantern, whether it's looking pretty or not. Top of it has a slant, so I looked at that slant and made the line accordingly. Now step by step I am looking at the picture. Because this lantern is can be divided into geometrical shapes, I'm going like that. I'm going one rectangle at a time and giving some curves wherever required. So the top is done, and now I'm coming to the bottom 2 blocks that we had marked, where the glass piece is coming in, and that is the base. So ideally with time what will happen is you will start measuring things with your eyes, but initially it's okay to give markings the way we had done and divided the drawing place into 4 pieces. And looking at the angle of where the base would come in, the structure of it, I'm just giving some pencil markings to give it a shape of a lantern. Do not worry at this stage about being precise or the lantern looking exactly like the one in the picture. As long as the shape is right, the proportion is correct, it's looking like a lamp, you should be happy and move with it. At this stage of the drawing, you have to only worry about the outlining, that things should fall rightly in place and proportion, and not about shading right now. Keep following what I'm doing. I'm looking at the picture and just giving lines wherever I see in the picture, and that's about it. It's as simple as that. Please follow the pencil mark and keep an eye on the left hand side picture as well. These bars, I'm just giving a line right now, and I'm not thickening it because right now at this stage I'm just giving it a shape or the angles in which it is falling. The thickness of it we will give later. At this point I'm just giving the markings where the things will come in. So more or less the first level of outlining is done. So I come up and give the darker outline to my lamp. At this stage I can do the corrections that I want, but the first level of my outline was pretty much okay for me, and hence I'm moving to this stage. So do not move to darkening the lines unless you're happy with what you have done in the first stage. I'm seeing where the darkest of the darker values in the picture are and giving the pencil mark darkness and the values there. Do not give dark marks where you see lighter shades or values in the picture. As the outline will become darker, the structure of your lantern will start coming out even better, and the shape will now pop out. Now I'm giving a little thickness to the iron rod which was there, because now the shape was fine, and this is the time that I can do this. Now pretty much darkening of the outline is also done. Time to start the shading. I start from the top because that's where the darker values are, and it's okay to start from one corner. Underneath that lid there is a lot of dark values, so just scribbling that. And now moving ahead to the rest of the iron piece. What I'm doing is I'm slanting my pencil and giving the shade across where I'm seeing some values. Do not try to replicate it exactly as in the picture, but the value comparison in your own drawing should be correct. I'll explain that to you in a while as to what I mean. Around the handle there is a lot of dark value, so I'm giving that texture there. And looking at the darker value, I'm seeing in comparison what the rest of the things should look like, and then darkening that or leaving it as a middle tone. So that is what I meant, that the values in your picture should be related to each other. Giving some more shapes around. This base has a darker area, so I'm giving that darkness and going back and shading. You don't have to worry about blending in the initial stages of your drawing and your learning. Do not worry about blending, because what I have seen is that students focus on blending and they do not worry about shading. So as much as possible in the initial stages, you do not use an eraser, because your line should be very light initially and you can overdo it, and do not use any blending tools. So in this tutorial I will not be using any eraser or any blending tools. So while I'm doing the shading, I'm also giving some details which I missed out earlier, and that's okay. So these rods, I'm giving the structure and the thickness that was required. Here's a view close up on what I'm doing. So now I'm going to compare the darkness in the picture to the top. So the top across the handle and below the base should be equally dark. That's what I just pointed out in the picture, and I'm trying to replicate that. Even the base is as dark, so I'm trying to replicate that. Shading is no rocket science. See, it's very simple. I'm just slanting my pencil and making the marks that I have to. You have to come over and over again in a particular area to give it the right value and texture. You cannot darken an area in the first go. So you can't make the dark area the darkest with the pencil in the first go, because then that will be flat. We need some layers of pencil mark, and that is where the correct texture or the roundness or the depth and the shape comes in. I'm very quickly shading the handle because the darker colors we will overlay after that, and hence it was just in one tone that I shaded and then gave it multiple tones and lines within. So time to look at the handle a little close up. Now you have to notice where I'm making the darker areas. So you see on the left hand side in the picture, the darker shades are coming in only in the sides. So you need to know as to where you're darkening the handle, whether it's a left side which will be highlighted or the right side which will be highlighted, and that is how the roundness will come in. The base, I'm giving it one very quick shade because we'll come over again and again. And in any artwork, choose the area which you want to highlight. I'm going to do the base a little quickly because the top of the lantern I want our focus to be in. Not that you cannot do better details in the base as well, but in a quick artwork or a quick sketch, I choose my pieces as to which one I want to do refined and more defined, and which one I want to do quickly. Now look at the structure, how I'm going about. I'm leaving the left side a little darker than the right side and giving lines outside to show the knob from where probably the oil goes in. And that's how we covered it, and this is the knob. I'll just leave some markings over it and not worry about too much of details. Some quick shading and markings around. And time to do the glass. I'm not going to overdo the glass because we have a tendency to overdo things and we can mess it up. So glass needs a transparency, so I'm leaving very light shades around and moving my pencil in angles so that the curve of the glass from the bottom comes through. Now what I'm going to do is I will bring in my 6B mechanical pencil to give the deeper and more defined lines wherever required. This is something that I do in few of my artwork where I need very dark detailing. For example, these lines in the knob. So that will come out very well with a mechanical pencil. Very quick, deep, darker values wherever required with the mechanical pencil, and I'm moving on. And make sure that you do not scrub everything with darkness. You have to just leave some marking here and there. Well, there is no end to it, and one can have a tendency to overdo, so I'm going to stop now. Time to sign the artwork. This is the final product. Hope you like the tutorial and you will try it. Please like, share and subscribe for weekly updates. Thank you.